Hi, I'm Jordan Beeman, president of HeartBrand Beef, and today we're going to be talking about HeartBrand Tri-tip. Tri-tip's a pretty unique cut to most people in Texas. However, it's been used out on the West Coast for quite some time, and today we're going to be cooking it Texas style. It's kind of similar to a brisket. It does come more from the sirloin area, but if you cook a brisket and a 10-pound brisket's a little bit too big for you, you can cook one of these tri-tips. They only weigh about 2 to 3 pounds. They're gonna feed maybe 3 or 4 people, and what's really good, they'll cook in about 3 hours, so you don't have to do that whole 12-hour smoke time that you do with a normal brisket. We're gonna be cooking it on a barbecue pit, Texas style, out on some nice oak wood, but don't worry, if you don't have a barbecue pit like this, you can always cook it in the oven. Just put it in the oven simply at about 250, 300 degrees and cook it to an internal temperature of about 150 degrees. Now we're going to begin to season our tri-tip. I like to keep it pretty basic. I'll start out with basic salt, kind of a coarse grind, cracked pepper, and then a little bit of barbecue seasoning. Whenever I'm seasoning this tri-tip, I like to season it pretty good because it's such a big, thick piece of meat. And really the only place you get to season is the outside, so make sure you're putting plenty of seasoning on the meat. So just start out with a basic kosher salt, put it all over the meat really well, then your black pepper, rub it in, make sure you get it nice and patted down there, and then a little bit of that barbecue seasoning. Now we're going to flip to the other side and make sure you get plenty of seasoning on both sides. That's it. There you have it, a nicely seasoned tri-tip ready to go on the barbecue pit. So I did start this pit earlier today. I started it probably about an hour and a half ago so I can get my pit to a good 250 to 300 degrees. I have it setting right at 300. What I used for this is oak wood, so just natural oak wood there in the firebox, so we're getting the really nice clean smoke and heat all the way through. So we'll go ahead and put it on the grill. Now that it's in there, we're gonna let it smoke for about 3 hours. We'll try and keep our temperature between 250 and 300 degrees, and I like to cook it to an internal temperature of about 150, and that should take about 3 hours. We've had the tri-tip on the grill for about 2.5 hours. Now we're gonna check the internal temperature and see if it's about ready to come off. It's right at 149 degrees. So we're gonna get ready to take this thing off, let it rest for about 5-10 minutes, and then go ahead and start carving it. We have our tri-tip perfectly smoked. We've let it rest for about 10 minutes. Now we're gonna begin to carve it. I like to cut mine about 1/4 inch thick, just a little bit thicker than what you'd cut a brisket. Wow, look at that beautiful smoke color. Look at all that juice coming in there. Wow, this thing's beautifully cut, amazingly juicy. I can't wait to try this thing. I think it's gonna be wonderful. Wow, great flavor, great tenderness. Tri-tip's such a good cut. It's kind of a cross between what a prime rib would be like and a brisket. Just a really fun item to cook and enjoy with the family. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for joining us on the HeartBrand Cooking Series.